So you're playing Street Fighter, having a good time in your ranked matches, then this absolute genius comes out of nowhere and just assaults you with this caveman playstyle. You lost the match, and now you're sitting in your chair wondering, why the fuck did I lose to that moron? Well, I'm glad you asked, Dumbo. Check it out, homie. Alright, listen, these bronze players are so far in the intellect department that you can't even read what they're thinking. And you want to know why? It's because they are not using their brain. Well, majority aren't using their brain, but we'll save that for a completely different video, alright? Let's focus on the brain dead players, because I think that's more fun and funny to actually talk about. We have three types of bronze players that consistently win against other players who don't know frame data or don't just have character knowledge or just really any kind of invested time into the game that would allow them to understand the mistakes that these players are making. You have the combo junkie, who only ever practices combos and thought that's all they need to win matches. You have the gimmick abuser, who only uses weird obscure moves that happen to work a few times on a player and who didn't know better, fell for it over and over and over, and now that's all they ever do. To be a bit more clear about these gimmicks, some of these are legitimate gimmicks that actually make sense and work even in high ranks, but sometimes players just use one move and then they're like, oh, it keeps working, I'm just gonna keep doing it. And I know the saying goes, if it keeps working and it's not broken, don't fix it. But here's the thing, right? That applies in a lot of scenarios, but when a player has knowledge of fighting games and will try and improve, it's not gonna work anymore. It'll only take you so far, so gimmicks are generally bad. Then our final bronze lord, we have the jumper. There's more to this list of garbage tactics, but let's focus on these common three. The combo junkie is an absolute chad and will most likely jump every single time because he knows it will lead to a big damage combo. While this is different from the actual jumper, this one is jumping with an intended purpose, whereas the other one, well, we'll get to that momentarily. Now, the interesting part about this one is that when you're jumping, obviously this leaves open to anti-airs, and if you're good at them, this pretty much play style is destroyed immediately and is dead on arrival because you will never be able to get in ever. Stop jumping on me. I'll kill you. These are the guys that spend 2 hours practicing 1 or 2 combos, but will relinquish every other fundamental within the game just to perform this combo, which means constant jump-ins, and even on block, they will most likely do the full combo, which will leave them minus and open for a punish. This is some frame data stuff that you don't necessarily need to know, but if you do know it, you'll be able to make a more appropriate response whenever they are actually minus on some frames. The easiest way to beat this player is to let him kill himself. I know it sounds bad, but like, it's sort of the truth. These players have a self-destructive and extremely reckless playstyle, so 9 times out of 10, they'll just kind of do all the work for you. You could mash light punch throughout the whole match and they would probably lose because they are constantly doing something that is self-destructive and you're just punishing them with a 3-frame jab. Next, we have the gimmick abuser, which just, oh fuck, I hate these players. This is a personal thing to me, so don't take this at face value, but I got smoked by just this absolute moron that ultimately is why I'm making this video. I am so salty that I don't want anyone to ever lose to this again, aka me. Gimmick abusers are in every rank, and like I said earlier, some are legit gimmicks that actually have a purpose and play, and then there's the guy who does the same gimmick because their opponent doesn't know how to deal with it. This is most popular with Kens, Chun-Li's, and Bronze that do obscure moves that are generally unsafe, but because their opponent doesn't understand frame data or doesn't understand that anti-airing is a good thing, stop doing Chun-Li V-skill. Stop doing that. It's not a good move. It's not a good fucking move. Stop doing it. There's a lot to unpack here. Okay, let me just break this down in a few steps. This match right here, you'll see my absolute failage. All right, this is horrifying. I watch this and I die a little every time I see this video. This Chun-Li is doing this weird overhead kick into machine gun thighs. That's not real. That's fake, bro. That shit ain't real. I mean, seriously, look at this garbage, bro. My man, okay, listen, that overhead kick is beyond unsafe, and you can even grab her out of that shit. It is not a thing. It is not a true combo. It's not real. You don't get to do that. You get punished for doing dumb shit like that. And why didn't I do it? Because I didn't know better. Duh. This comes down to character knowledge and experience with the game. The more you play, the more you will develop a memory towards these stupid garbage playstyles that plague bronze ranks. And I am a shining example of that. I lost to this guy in the worst way possible, and it is stuck with me. And now I know every time I see that, guess what? It will never fucking work on me again. You hear me? Do you hear me? Huh? I will fucking kill you. Moving on to our last bronze lord, we have the jumper. Now, unlike the combo junkie, this guy has no intention on when he is jumping. He has no purpose, he has no reason other than walking or dashing is very slow and jumping is so much faster. Which is true, it's 7,000 IQ, it really is faster, but here's the problem, it doesn't always work. It's like living in a big city, you know, walking is very slow, so I'm gonna drive my really fast car, but then I get stopped by a traffic jam at 2:30 in the afternoon, and now I'm 7 hours late to my kid's recital, and just, God damn it, Karen, please, can I just have my kids back? I just want to see them. Listen, okay, the point of that metaphor is just because you have a faster method to get to where you want doesn't mean it will always work all the time. That's just not a logical thing. Sometimes there's a traffic jam that just halts you in place and you can't drive anywhere. This is why walking probably was faster, because by the time you left your house to go to your kid's recital, you probably would have already been there instead of being stuck in a traffic jam in midtown in fucking 70,000 degree weather, burning your ass off. This is getting oddly personal. Then you also have sometimes there's no traffic at all and it's smooth sailing or driving. Okay, listen, all right? Fuck this stupid metaphor, okay? You're the traffic jam, all right? This man wants to drive his shitty Honda into your ass and you say nay and anti-air every single time he hops in that shit-ass Honda. Jumping to gain position is a good idea in some scenarios, especially when it's obscure. You have to condition players not to be used to that. If you condition me to jump every 5 seconds, right? Or if you're conditioning me that you're jumping every 5 seconds, guess what? I'm guessing DP. I'm gonna just try and dragon punch you every 5 seconds. And let's say you bait it out. Oh shit, now I'm negative and you can destroy me with a huge punish. These mind games don't exist in bronze, and it's why we lose, because a player like me that understands this stuff, I try and play mind games with these bronzies and I realize they have no fucking brain. I have to be a caveman, and that's really the problem. I'm just not willing to go back to that. I crawled out of that a long time ago, and it's so hard to go back. All these players have one thing in common, and that is a self-destructive playstyle. You don't need combos to win because fundamentals are way more important in the long run. Yes, combos are awesome and look fancy and can actually be very, very useful in probably every single match you play. But if you lack the fundamentals and all you know how to do is get in and do a combo, it results in nothing because some guy's gonna out fundamental you. There have been high level matches where no one landed a single fucking combo, but they just poked each other down and then timed out. This is just a thing that happened. And as for gimmicks, they're nice to a certain degree and even work in high ranks, but you gotta get there first, Dumbo, and not spam the same move 50 times in one match. And if you're jumping every 5 seconds, you're just throwing the match at that point. You just don't care, and you probably shouldn't even really be playing the game. You wanna know why my anti-airs are so good? Because I have a way inside to the mindless, okay? I have a practice partner that is in that department, so I'm just naturally better. But for those of you that don't have a way into that, this right here, practice. Go to the practice room. You can practice all these things. Anti-airs, you can set the dummy to do that. Weird gimmicks that are punishable, you can do the gimmicks via the recording option and literally see if it's punishable, or at least see what you can do against it. If it's something that's a full block string that you have to actually just hold, do that. Or if it's like my situation where it is entirely punishable even before it goes off, you can just now know that, and every time you see a Chun-Li do some weird garbage, guess what? You put him in the garbage. And like I said for jumping, you are throwing the match. There we go, boys. Patience is key. You don't need to rush, all right? We're good. I will catch you guys in the next video where I am roasting my play style and talking about how shit I am at this game.